Hello and welcome, or welcome back. This is going to be the Daily Dharma number 2 based on the cards. I've left the first Daily Dharma, which is uploading now. I've left that spread all over the place here on the table. And I've actually gone through and already placed out the Akashic Tarot in a Celtic cross here, which the spread is incredible. Can't wait to get into it with you guys. But it's based on... It looks as though it's based upon a reacquaintance, potentially with somebody you've already met. So for some of you, this might be a soulmate, whether it's friend or intimate partner potential. It could be a soulmate from another time, but it's definitely somebody who has an interest in connecting with you as the viewer. And I do believe that for many of you, you'll already have met this person at a previous time, but perhaps things didn't necessarily progress for one reason or another. Maybe we'll get to the bottom of that here. So before we get into those cards, let's go ahead, and I've just shuffled the Tao Te Ching and Art of War mixed deck here. And let's start out with some messages that some of you may be able to apply to this. Sun Tzu said, "At the critical moment, the leader of an army acts like one who's climbed up a great height, then kicks away the ladder behind him. He carries his men deep into hostile territory before he shows his hand." So, okay, for some, okay, how an imagery to help put this out there. I think what I'll say is, for instance, going to a school dance in high school. I'm saying this because my daughter just went to a dance. It's like, you kind of have to do the hard work of getting all dressed up and walking in the door, but you don't necessarily have to secure your date in advance, right? You can go to these social events, and it's kind of like deep in hostile territory. There you are, everybody's dancing, everybody's looking around, and everybody's in a hopefully a jovial, accepting mood. Everybody's smiling and mingling. So you can't go in there with an avenue of escape necessarily. It's like you kind of have to walk in, and then you're there. You've already been seen, and you have to, do the thing. And in the same way, it's like you can kind of act as if the thing that you're manifesting isn't really the thing, so that you can get closer to the objective, like capture the flag game. You get closer and closer to it before you can grab it and then go. So there's something here about the strategy of not really showing your hand, but maybe being friendly and just mingling with other individuals to then see which individuals you're gonna hang out with and have the most fun with. You can talk to 5 different groups, and then where's the laughter and the enjoyment flowing? Where's the conversation going? And you might choose to kind of flip between a couple groups, but what is the objective? What are you looking for here? So embracing change comes on the back. Change is inevitable, but many are scared of it. Major life events, such as leaving home, quitting a job, splitting up with a partner, a marriage, or a divorce, are all stressful. Prepare for the worst, but taking the right risks at the right time will ensure that you get through it. The best way to prepare for change is to be the one driving it. Many apologies for the road noise, folks. We have a few more popping out. Let's not take them all. We also have reason over power. In an argument, the most determined, loudest, or nastiest contestant may win. I saw 444 at the last time, and I just saw it just now. So that might be a message. We also had the 44 card down here. The loudest, most assertive may win with little reason involved. To use influence over power to win is harder. Someone highly skilled at using these indirect methods will win without their adversary even knowing there was a fight. To do this, you need to understand the situation better than the others and to get reason into play. So for me, if you're going out and mingling, um, an easy one to pick on is those socially taboo subjects that you don't bring up, such as religion and politics. And so, for many of us in particular that are tuning in here, more of the alchemists, the magicians, and the cosmonauts don't always fit into traditionally practiced religion. And there's a lot of that out there. So if somebody starts to get preachy on politics or religion, just to keep things light and jovial, one might do something such as laughingly redirect the conversation and say, oh, you're getting into some territory that clearly not everybody is going to be 100% on the same bend. Let's steer away from charged topics that might divide us, and let's talk about something a little bit more interesting, like let's talk about the music. Music is a card that's up here. So all of those things are coming to the forefront. And only one from the Tao Te Ching, number 79. Failure is an opportunity. If you blame someone else, there's no end to the blame. Therefore, the master fulfills her own obligations and corrects her own mistakes. She does what she needs to do and demands nothing of others. So, we talked a little bit about kind of leading with an apology and discounting and removing the guts of what you have to say before even saying it. And some in the previous Daily Dharma, that is. And so it's coming back up where failure is an opportunity. Like maybe you can hardly help, but somebody's just made, let's say, some type of racist or misogynistic comment, and you're somebody who respects all individuals. And so instead of blaming somebody, you might just offer up lightly, well, I've noticed that many of us here know a person and love a person, either directly or somewhat once removed, that is affected by this. We've got mothers, we've got daughters, we've got husbands and wives, and we're all affected by duality. And so if we can make a healthy comment or just say, I apologize if this is just me feeling this way in this group context, but I kind of feel like that's a loaded comment, and it makes me uncomfortable. And then if others are comfortable with that, then you can flit on to the next group and you don't need to go back there. But it doesn't mean you have to be aggressive or loud or nasty, or it doesn't mean that they need to be nasty or aggressive with you. Just be like, you don't even have to call them out. Let them be in their small-minded thing and just say, all right, well, you guys enjoy your conversation. That's my cue to go. I'll check in with you later or not, and just make your escape. You've kicked out the ladder, though, on that previous comment. Who knows? You'll have to make your own judgment calls there. But I think that because we had so much talk about our own Chiron wound and fearing to use our voice, the context of this reading says that based on our ability to be charismatic and confident in using our voice as a force for unity consciousness, love, and understanding, and honoring diversity, that we will actually speak into form what other people are not confident enough to check the individual who's being nasty or loud or aggressive. Just because they're used to winning and everybody's used to cowering doesn't mean we need to do that. Maybe the others need rescuing. I am getting into dangerous territory here, but I think that you understand what I mean. Like if you're standing in a group of 10 people, the chances are if somebody makes a toxic comment, that something along the lines of 70 to 90% of the people, hopefully at the minimum, unless you're in deep territory with the enemy, uh, maybe you need to kick out that ladder of escape and just say, not all of us here are caught up in that mentality. Let's let's be kind or something. I don't know. What are some of the things that you guys have faced with? Maybe these are situations that you've already had to stand for something such as that. Oh, I just realized I already have some flipping out. So we did have Kadga number 9 from the Kali deck under here about the sacred severance. And I always see the Two of Pentacles with this, juggling our words, being careful could come in, but, cutting something and making a distinction and being careful and weighing our options, weights and measures. Sisters of the sun rising, individuals are waking up to their more cosmic, inclusive identity. And we've got a lot of Akashic information here that I want to get into. So then we also have Empress of the Pearl, who has her chest out. Empress of the Pearl, to me, number 10, talks about, oh, and that's 9 and 10 from the Kali and Kuan Yin deck. It talks about our growth under pressure, creating the magic and the beauty of our voice. It comes through adversity. It polishes the inner gem. And at some point, we have to recognize how beautiful us standing up for what's right in our estimation is, because at least we won't be broadcasting that we tolerate the toxicity. If we're looking for somebody important, friends, family, and neighbors, colleagues, and loved ones, intimate partners into our life, it really makes ourselves more confident when we stand for what we stand for. You got to stand for something, or you will fall for anything, is an old country song I'm hearing. And Moksha of Kali, number 39. It's about that blooming lotus here. And I just want to pull that one forward, and I do want to get, oh, I thought I opened up straight to it. I opened up to 38. Her passionate desire for your liberation is unflagging. And so if this aggressive person resonates with your previous abusers or detractors, then don't let them continue to make you feel oppressed. You're equal, if not greater in power than that. And so is your relief. And so your relief shall come swiftly. She is speaking to you from within. She's the voice of reassurance. Can you hear her? Trust her. You know what's right. Soon you will see things in a better light. You're going to be liberated from the struggle that you're currently experiencing. Be true to yourself and your life path, and you will attract the way forward as obstacles disappear. Yeah, you've got to check out the Daily Dharma one. We talked about finding the workaround, the wall that was limiting having a window, even if there's no doors that are unlocked. So be true to yourself and to your life path, and you will attract the way forward as obstacles disappear. And we also talked about how the obstacle representing the limitation from an early childhood misrepresentation of our energy and suppression energy. Do not turn away, and don't kick out the ladder instead of looking for the escape, because you're destined to overcome the opposition here, bringing your sacred path into fruition. So somebody will respect you so much and be so attracted to your light and the way that you can gently advocate for what is right. So let's get into the Celtic cross spread here. So the first one coming out representing yourself is the Oracle of Delphi. Look at you on your, I want to say high horse, but elevated stance here, speaking the will of God through the microphone of the third eye, opening up the crown, getting those messages in. Can you hear her? Can they hear you? You have this scribe who's been listening to you and has been contemplating your messages and has appreciated the way that you have this diversity in your space, in your essence, and in your knowledge. And they have witnessed that you are an advocate for unified love, for unity consciousness. And so others are taking notes on what you are developing through. And in this group context, as we've been talking, it's like as you speak, you are the deliverer of the messages from the mountain on high. So I have a lot of interesting hits here. Let's start out with the foundation and the basis. Look at who's down below. This is a depiction of Jesus. We do not need to get all caught up in religious ideals here. On the basis here, he's got that hermetic symbol of healing, the medical of the caduceus, of Hermes, of Mercury, of Thoth. And Jesus, as the ascended master, is the unity consciousness that stands within this group and says, you know, those people are worthy of love. Those people are also humans, and brings in the higher consciousness into the conversation and enlightens other individuals through the gentle nature of unconditional love and acceptance, even for those that appear to be hostile. And above this reading is what you're conjuring. And let's not get caught up on gender, as this is a general reading, but the King of Forces is the King of Wands here, showing up in this natural landscape with his head like, huh? Hearing you from across the room, across the way, and saying, damn, that individual just quietly, gently, and magically just used their sword and just said, I'm going to cut through the BS and I'm going to deliver the light, you know? And so somebody has taken notice. And look at the break in the clouds here behind with that purple. And for those who haven't seen this, there are bugs coming out, folks. I'm sorry if I'm wiping my face. Look at that. It's like the keyhole in the clouds where the light comes in full force for other individuals. It's like other individuals have been perhaps looking for a gentle, graceful way to speak the things that you're giving examples of. You're setting a new standard of communication within some type of group here, and you're manifesting this king energy within yourself, being on the throne, being the high master of your vital life force energy, inclusive of all animals and beings. You know, you may walk a pathway, a spiritual journey that has to do with honoring all life. And directly behind the questioner here, we have the scribe. This is the recent past, number 12. And that, to me, is the individuals taking notes of your energy, of what you're doing. This could be, again, on social media. I apologize if that's kind of dark for you guys. But it's like somebody, there's this group think over here, taking their own context. And then there's an individual over here taking his own notes. And it's like maybe you are set apart in the information that you bring into the fold, but it looks like you're really hard at work. You've been doing a lot of research. You come to the table with a lot to offer and a lot to add to the conversation. And so yeah, it's definitely looking like you are the prophet. You are the advocate of something powerful and loving and inclusive here, and that you speaking up not only heals this legacy of whatever you felt was hindering or limiting you, but it also opens up a pathway for you to blaze a trail for other individuals to say, me too. It's reminding me of the Me Too movement of a few years ago. So coming into the near future, we have now the Queen of Forces, standing poised between the light and the dark, illuminating the light and the dark. And so this may be a transition or an activation, a new confidence or a new plan that you've made with this recent lunar eclipse, and coming into greater fruition by the time of the solar eclipse, because we see that sun and moon in balance. And the nodes right now are in Aries and Libra. So that energy, that south node of Libra, is like our ability to coordinate and accommodate and be subtle and graceful with energies, is helping us to rebalance things with the way that we speak it. and the the north node influences of where we're going into is helping us to stand up and be more fiery, more passionate, and more supported in blazing the trail. It's like, if no one else is going to blaze the trail of what I'm looking at, I'm not going to sit here and be complicit in a conversation that doesn't feel good, right? I'm just using these as metaphors, but this is truly leading into something, because with the king and the queen of forces here, it very well may be that your ability to be assertive, whether you're masculine or feminine, brings in another person who is receptive to your mojo and your charisma. And they are, let me show you this. It's like, I had this one kind of above and this one over here in front of. And it's like this individual is turning their head to see your display, like you're holding up both sides of an argument. Like, I understand how this makes sense for some people. I'm not going to demonize or whatever. However, I'm going to hold up the other side as well. It's like that Libra ability to sit the fence, not in a way of being non-committal, but in the way that says, I can see both sides, I can understand, I've looked at both sides or all sides of a situation, and I don't necessarily follow groupthink in any way. I have varying beliefs, but here is what I want to say in this moment. And it opens up a miracle and a union miracle here at that. So you are being recognized for your ability to be creative in your personal self-expression in this way. So beautiful. You're being supported by some incredible major arcana here as well. Speaking of major arcana, moving into the second energy of you in your current context, this is the number 2 card of the Akashic Library. So yeah, it's like you are sitting amongst your messages, amongst your books, and it's like the scribe that's been so hard at work in recent times at 22 on the timer, 12 into the 2 here, 1 2 2. It's like all of a sudden this individual who's been doing all this research and head down hard at work now has their head up from their books looking straight forward. And that's what I'm seeing as this this king of forces that we're being, and all of a sudden we're looking up because something has caught our attention, something that needs response or has drawn our attention in some way. And it feels like this queen of forces energy where somebody's like, yes, I can see both sides as well. This may represent somebody else or all aspects of yourself, but you are creating an Akashic activation for other individuals because you're speaking from the actual soul resonance of love. And whether people can identify with that seed within themselves on the ego level, when you don't compare, compete, or get aggressive, just get passionate and graceful about it, you're able to bring your receipts, all of these books, like, well, what do you want to talk about? Because I'm sensing with this diversity card, that's you standing in your awareness. You've done so much study already. And so coming through this, I don't know if you're getting an opportunity in business or in collaboration, partnership, or, just people that want to hang out with you, know more about what you have to do. Maybe you're, saying something like, for instance, I could see this happening with myself, bringing up things like my biofeedback machinery and the right frequency, because again, with the road noise, there is something with that. If it's meaningful to your message, let us know. But it's like you bringing all this diverse information. It's like, yeah, I have a lot of other offerings. And then maybe instead of just bringing up the conversation about your personal beliefs, because, those failures might be an opportunity to say, maybe somebody's always complaining about, well, I've got this and this medical ailment, and you're a naturopath, and you're like, well, did you have you ever heard that something simple like turmeric can reduce inflammation? Have you heard that such and such reduces this? Have you heard that if you do a little apple cider vinegar with the mother, that that can help you to balance your biome? You know, and so people start to say, wow, what about this? What about that? It's like, yeah, did you know this? And you become in the spotlight for something. So someone else, other people's view of you in this context here is the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Roses here, commitment with this soul contract. So whether or not you meet the love of your life, um, there's an opportunity to create lasting partnerships, lasting connections, or to gain some type of even financial or entrepreneurial engagement, new clientele, something like that, or a new collaborator for your enterprise here. But other individuals are connected on some level, on the Akashic level. They are resonating with what you say. They understand you. You've done your work, you've done your studies, and that you have great perspectives, great energy, great insight, and that you love and care for all individuals. It makes them safe, feel safe to be themselves and to tell you things. So, next we have hopes and fears that you've been dealing with, the Sands of Time, and Six of Scrolls. So, Six of Swords can be the healing necessary that you may have retreated. We've also got the medicine wheel in the original spread here with the Sands of Time. It's like we've kind of had to take our time to investigate and to learn about something, to activate our own knowledge and our own sacred information and our own sacred resonance, our own empathic gifts, and our spiritual know-how. We've tested and experimented with our belief structures and various factors that are leading into this situation. And um, potentially as well, we may feel like we may have missed an opportunity with another individual. But to get back to if this is something that is an opportunity for a reconnection on the romantic level, I will say that I ran out of time on the previous, and I did finish bringing out the last couple cards on this last thing. The Stranger card coming out with Healing, Earth, and Remembrance was talking about somebody who you made an impression on at a previous time. And for some, this may be a soulmate you haven't met in the earthly realm yet, but for many, it's going to be somebody that you already have become at least somewhat acquainted with, and there's something that they're remembering about you. And if you have faith that you've been recognized, there may be a rejuvenation of the relationship, or them really thinking about you. It's like you've been coming into their mind recently. And so even though some time has passed, they've been able to possibly watch you, witness your energy shifting and changing, your beliefs coming forward. It's resonated with them quite deeply, and they may feel like they've missed an opportunity with you, but I feel like they've really taken their notes and done their homework on you and to discern what you stand for, and that they feel safe to be themselves in your energy. So the three at the potential outcome, we start with the Five of Roses, not always the most positive card in the deck, because five of cups can often seem like there's three cups spilled, but there's a two of cups right behind the back. And so it's saying that although we may have had three near misses in our intimate partnership manifesto, that there's still a two of cups out there for us. And whether it's a resurgence, a reconnection, or a brand new meeting, look at these two individuals so close here in this beautiful garden of the maybe a park. If you're not planning some adventure, you could at least take yourself out into the park and make sure that you look up from your studies or your pen and paper or whatever it is that you're doing every so often to see who's taking you in or who's around you. And Yeah, so it looks like two individuals very close to connecting. One's got a telescope, one's got a microscope. And so one's looking at the microcosm and one's looking off into the vistas. And so it lends itself to an interesting um, connection here. So this may be on the books, is that Two of Cups may be coming back into your awareness. Then we have the King of Scrolls, that King of Air or Swords, and he's got those scrolls again. We've got a lot of scrolls here, and kind of using what they have known and potentially letting you in beyond the garden gate here. Ending with the Two of Forces, this rejuvenation, the healing, resilience of that willow energy. And it's really like us taking up space and looking, just there's this beautiful regenerative aspect to this. And look at the aura around it, that light coming forward, because we did have this luminous warrior. So this may be an individual that's taking you in or you taking someone else in. But look at the hand, how it's lit up. That is the willow, that is the oracle, channeling and expressing and broadcasting the light codes out into the ethers, which is then casting the light upon what you're trying to read, your soul contract and what you're here to do. And this light that you are casting is illuminating and activating someone else to stand in their integrity and to take notice of you. Under the deck, we did have the Akashic field, so you're in tune with the atmosphere and the aura around the whole group, etc., and in the collective. Waterfall, rushing of emotions and interconnectivity, being in the flow, rushing forward. Perhaps there may be a lot of passionate energies coming forward, and fated meeting. So that's what it's all about, is this fated meeting at the time of whatever adventure we're talking about here. And it may all start with you taking up a little bit extra space, more than maybe you're traditionally comfortable taking up, in a very graceful and poised way, and taking a stand and setting the bar higher and illuminating a perspective that others may have been too timid to share. And this aura attracts your destiny, at least your destiny for this next phase. So beautiful energy coming through. We've got the equinox energy still in flux now, so that balance of equinox energies is channeling through you, and it's really going to help you stand up, stand apart, and make some real boss moves going forward. So best of luck to you, sending you so much love, so much light, and so much faith as you go on this confidence journey. And yeah, and stand up and do the right thing in some type of a way. So take good care of yourselves and let me know how it goes. Until next time, folks. Bye.